The Russians finally got their hands on some US Bradleys. They ran tests, they took notes, and then they basically said, yeah, this thing is better than ours. That shouldn't be surprising to literally anyone because there's a video still circulating the internet of the Bradleys, the American-made Bradleys, absolutely dog-walking a Russian T-90. I actually posted a video about the dog walking in question, if you'd like to see it. Make sure you stick around until the end because we're going to break down what this could mean for future Russian military vehicles and how Moscow might start borrowing from American tech. Do not forget to like, comment, and hit the subscribe button. Let's get into it. As of April 2025, reports indicate that approximately 8 Bradleys have been captured and 72 have been destroyed by Russian forces. America sent over a ton of Bradleys as basically aid to Ukraine in their conflict with Russia. That happened a number of years ago at this point, and so, now we've gone through a couple years of the war, and so some vehicles got destroyed. But capturing a military vehicle is pretty difficult. Now Russia has captured a number of Bradleys, and they've been able to do some comparisons. They've compared it specifically to the BMP-3, which is their equivalent of the American Bradley fighting vehicle. Earlier this year, Russian analysts from the 38th Research and Testing Institute of Armored Vehicles got a rare opportunity, an up-close look at a captured M2A2 Bradley fighting vehicle, specifically the ODS-SA variant. According to a leaked report on Telegram confirmed by experts like Steven Zalaga, this wasn't just a casual peek, they ran a full set of tests. Russia's 38th Research Institute of Armored Vehicles focused on 4 key areas of comparison: protection, firepower, operational and maintenance efficiency, and ergonomic design features. They wanted to determine what qualities of features on the Bradley outclass similar qualities or features on the BMP. The M2A2 Bradley weighs around 30 tons, is powered by a 600 horsepower diesel engine, and carries a 25mm Bushmaster chain gun tow anti-tank missiles and a coaxial 7.62mm machine gun. It's armored to withstand RPGs, mines, and even ATGM hits, that's anti-tank guided missiles, and its modern fire control system makes it incredibly accurate even on the move. Firing on the move is a tremendous, game-changing, battle-winning feature. Meanwhile, the Russian BMP-3 comes in lighter at about 18.7 tons, and although it looks impressive on paper, boasting a 100mm low-pressure gun, a 30mm autocannon, and a 7.62mm machine gun, the trade-off comes in protection. It was designed to prioritize mobility and firepower over survivability. Its armor can be as thin as 19mm in places, and while it can float, it can't take nearly as much punishment. This wasn't theoretical. Ukrainian Bradleys have been in combat since early 2023, and footage has already shown them going toe-to-toe with Russian armor. Again, there's a clip circulating where 2 Bradleys methodically tore through a Russian T-90 with their 25mm cannons. The Russian report backed that up, noting that Bradley's ability to withstand anti-tank mines and ATGM hits, often without crew casualties. In fact, Ukrainians in the field praised the vehicle for exactly that. Russian researchers had to admit, on paper and in practice, the Bradley is built tougher. Real quick break. This is an ad read for my website. If you enjoy my channel, if you like me, if you think my voice sounds funny, and you want to support me further, you can head over to themandatoryfunday.com. We have merchandise over there. All different kinds of shirts, hats, stickers, mugs. In addition to merchandise, there is a membership section of my website. Members get 20% off their entire order forever. No matter how many times you order, you'll always get that. And they also get access to exclusive content, exclusive videos that I make just for members. Every week I post a video about a coworker that I don't like and exactly why I don't like them. Okay, I don't do that. The exclusive content relates to the videos that I post here. I'm not talking about my coworkers. That'll be in the book. Last thing about my website before we get back to the video is that there is a link on my website to get regulation compliant Coyote Brown shirts that you can wear under your uniform. That's another thing people have been asking for, and I have delivered. Now, back to why Russia suddenly wants to copy the Bradley. We got to talk a little bit about Soviet versus American priorities in design of military vehicles. So let's talk history. The BMP-3 traces its roots back to the Soviet Union in the 1980s. It was developed as the successor to the BMP-1 and 2. Shocker. Those were revolutionary platforms at the time, designed to keep up with tanks and deliver infantry into the heart of the battlefield. But the Soviet strategy always emphasized volume over individual quality. If you lost 20 vehicles in a fight, it was fine as long as 21 made it to the objective. That mentality shaped the BMP-3. It was faster, amphibious, and packed more guns than its predecessors, but armor and survivability were basically afterthoughts. Meanwhile, the US invested in layered armor, thermal imaging, and tech-heavy systems like fire control computers and advanced optics. That's why the Bradley today outclasses the BMP-3 in more than just protection. It's got smarter targeting, better interior ergonomics, and advanced situational awareness tools that help crews respond faster and stay alive longer. But the BMP does have a few tricks, the BMP-3 that is. Not everything was one-sided. The Russian analysts did point out some areas where the BMP-3 still holds an edge. The vehicle can swim. It can literally float and cross water obstacles without additional gear. That's massive. Its power-to-weight ratio allows it to move faster and climb steeper terrain than the heavier Bradley, and in terms of raw firepower, it carries more diverse weapons, including a 100mm gun that can launch anti-tank rounds, plus a 30mm autocannon. In short, the BMP-3 is like a street fighter, fast, wild, and dangerous in close quarters. Kind of like me after 3 shots of tequila. But the Bradley is like a trained special forces operator, precise, durable, and not easily rattled. Also like me after 3 shots of tequila. Where Russia might go from here, that's anybody's guess, but I think we can make some good educated assessments. The Russian report wasn't just a concession, it was a roadmap for change. It recommended outfitting BMP-3s with front-facing armored screens, more advanced anti-tank missile launchers, and replacing the commander's vision systems with armored glass and better optics. They also floated a more ambitious idea, designing new autocannons that mimic Western ammunition technology, basically high-velocity armor-piercing rounds. This would require new barrels, recoil systems, and likely an overhaul of their current ammunition manufacturing pipelines. That's not a minor upgrade. It's an admission that they're behind. There's also increasing talk in Russian military circles about borrowing Western vehicle design features outright, especially when it comes to compartment access, digital fire control, and modular armor kits. That kind of tech leap won't be easy, especially under sanctions and with Russia's struggling defense economy. But it shows they're worried. What are the strategic implications of all of this? This goes way beyond one vehicle. Russia's report on the Bradley versus the BMP-3 signals a larger realization. Their Cold War era approach to armor is aging fast. The Ukraine war is proving that survivability, communication, and integration with modern battlefield systems are more important than just having a big gun and an amphibious chassis. If Russia does move forward with major upgrades or entirely new IFVs, they'll be racing against a tech gap they haven't tried to close in decades. That means delays, costly R&D, and potential weaknesses during the transition. But if they don't change, they'll keep losing vehicles and crew in a war where every loss now has global visibility, drone footage, and public embarrassment attached. This could also have ripple effects in countries that buy Russian armor. Nations like India, Algeria, and Vietnam might start questioning the value of BMP platforms and look westward instead. This captured Bradley might just change how Russia approaches its future vehicles. Maybe not immediately, but over time. And if they start borrowing US designs, it wouldn't be the first time one side adapted to the other's strengths. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it if you made it to the end of this video. I truly, you guys are such an amazing community, and I love doing this.